Today we're crocheting an amigurumi heart, and the size of the heart that you make will depend on the yarn and the hook size that you're using. Here are 3 different sized hearts that I made using this same pattern. This heart in the middle is the one that we're going to be making today, and it was made with a 5mm hook. And here is a slightly smaller heart made with a 4mm hook. And then this large heart was made with an 8mm hook and while double stranding the yarn. So while holding 2 strands of this yarn at the same time. You can see the free written pattern at vivcrochets.com or linked in the description below. And if you do enjoy this tutorial, please leave a like or comment to let me know. Thanks so much, and let's get started. For this project, I'm using a very small amount of Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the color Burgundy. And this is a medium weight yarn, so if you use a thicker yarn, you'll have a bigger heart, or if you use a thinner yarn, you'll have a smaller heart. And I also used a 5mm hook, some scissors, and some fiber fill. And everything will be linked in the description. First, we'll make a slip knot, and to make a slip knot, place the yarn over your hand with the tail end at the bottom. Then grab the yarn with your thumb, and you can leave just a short tail, like this long. Then grab the top, and wrap it around 2 fingers to form an X. And then you can hold it with your pinky, and then with your hook, go under one side of the X, and then over the other side, and pull the yarn through. And take your fingers out, and then tighten the knot. And then we're going to chain 2. To chain, yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. And make sure that your first chain isn't too tight. Again, yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets into the first chain that we made. So this is the first chain that we made. We're going to go over and into the V of this first chain, and make sure you go under the loop in the back as well. And then we're going to make a single crochet. So we're going to yarn over, pull through, and we should have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. And that's our first single crochet. Again, to do another single crochet, we're going to go back into the same chain. So back into that same space we just went into. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. And there's our second single crochet. Again, we're going to do 6 total, so go back into that same chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on your hook. And we're going to do 3 more single crochets until we have a total of 6. And now I have 6 single crochets into that one chain, and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in this single crochet here, this one is the very first single crochet that we made. We're going to do a slip stitch. So go under this V here at the top of the very first single crochet we made. So go under one side of the V and then through under the other side, and then we'll do a slip stitch. So we'll yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on our hook, and then tighten. And there's our first round. And make sure that you really tighten your slip stitches, or you could mistake it for a stitch. Here's how the slip stitch looks before tightening it, and here's how it looks after. So if you end up with more stitches than you're supposed to, you might accidentally be working into your slip stitch. Now we're going to do the second round, and to start every single round, we're going to chain 1. And in this round, we're going to put 2 single crochets on top of every single crochet from the last round. And the first stitch of every round is going to be that same stitch that we just slip stitched to. So go back under that V of that stitch that we slip stitched to and do a single crochet. And we're doing 2 into every stitch, so we're going to go back into the same stitch and do another single crochet. So now we've done 2 single crochets into that one stitch, and that's called an increase. And then we'll move on to this next stitch, and we'll go under the V of this next stitch, and we're going to do a single crochet. And then we'll go back into that same stitch and do our second single crochet. Now I'll move on to the next stitch and do 2 single crochets into the next stitch. And then we'll continue doing 2 single crochets into every single stitch. And once you've done 2 single crochets into every single stitch, you should have a total of 12 single crochets. Again, you can count them using these V's at the top. And just like with the last round, we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. So you can do the same thing we did last round where we counted 12, or you can just look on this side and you can see the first V right here. And we'll go under the V of this first single crochet, yarn over, pull through the loop on our hook, and tighten. And there is round 2. And for round 3, we're going to start the round by chaining 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet into every single stitch, just 1 single crochet. And we'll start with the same stitch we just slip stitched to. So go back under that V and do just 1 single crochet. Then I'll move on to the next stitch and do just 1 single crochet. And then we'll continue just working all the way around, doing 1 single crochet into every stitch. And you'll notice that at the end of this round, it starts to curl in, which is what you want, but just make sure it curls towards the back. So mine right now is curling up like this. We're going to flip it so it curls the other way. And since we did 1 stitch into every single stitch, we should still have a total of 12 stitches. And just like with the end of every round, we're going to do a slip stitch to the first stitch of this round. So go over, under the V of that stitch, and do your slip stitch. And now we're going to fasten off. And to fasten off, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to cut our yarn, and we're going to cut it really short, maybe about this long, and then pull through with your hook and tighten the knot. And now we have this little cap for one side of our heart, and we're going to set this aside, and we're going to repeat this one more time, but we're not going to fasten off. So for the second one, I'm going to go a little bit faster So if you do want the more in-depth tutorial, you can go back to the timestamp where we did this for the first time. So we're going to do a slip knot. And we're going to chain 2. And then we'll do 6 single crochets into the first chain that we did. And then we'll slip stitch to the first stitch that we made. And for our second round, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 2 single crochets into every single stitch. And then you should have a total of 12 stitches, and then we'll slip stitch to the first stitch that we made this round. In round 3, we're going to chain 1 and do just 1 single crochet into every stitch. And we should end up with a total of 12 stitches again. And we're going to flip this so it's facing the other way. And then we'll slip stitch to the first stitch of this round. Here is our second cap, or the top of the heart. So it'll be like this. Now to start the next round, we are not going to do a chain 1. This is the only round that we're not going to chain 1. We're going to grab the first cap that we made, and we're going to look for our loose end sticking out the top, right here where we fastened off. And we're going to do our first single crochet into a stitch to the right of the knot. You can see this space just under the knot is where we slip stitch. We're going to start working into the stitch to the right of it. So without chaining, we're going to go into this stitch right here. And then we're going to grab our yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops to do our first single crochet. And then our next stitch will go into that space that we slip stitched to. So just under the knot right here. So now we've done 2 single crochets and we still need 10 more to go all the way around. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet into each of the next 10 stitches. And once you reach the middle, you should have a total of 12 single crochets going around. And we're going to start working onto this side. And the first stitch we're going to work into on this side is where we did our slip stitch. So it's this space here. You can see just next to where these 2 connect. So right here, we're going to go over and do our first single crochet on this side. And we'll do 1 single crochet into all 12 of these stitches here. And then once you reach the middle, you should have 12 on this side as well. So we should have a total of 24 in this round. And then we're going to slip stitch to the very first single crochet that we made, which is right in the middle. And it's this one right here. And we'll go into this space in the middle, under the V, and do our slip stitch. And now it should look like this. We have the top of the heart finished. And now we just need to make the bottom half. So we'll call that round 4 that we just did to continue on after these first 3 rounds. So round 5, we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to do a single crochet into the stitch we just slip stitched to. And then we'll do a single crochet into the next stitch, and then the next stitch, and then the next stitch. So after a total of 4 single crochets, we're going to do a decrease. And to do a decrease, we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and we should have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So this is the pattern that we're going to repeat this round. We're going to do 4 single crochets and then a decrease. So we'll do a single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then we'll do a decrease. So again, to do a decrease, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we'll repeat that again by doing 4 single crochets, and then a decrease, and then 4 single crochets, and as long as your stitch count is correct and you did the pattern correctly, you should finish the round with a decrease over the last 2 stitches. And you should end round 5 with a total of 20 stitches. And then at the end, we're going to slip stitch, as always. And here is our 5th round. Now to start a 6th round, we're going to chain 1. And this is very similar to last round, but instead of 4, we're doing 3. So we'll do a single crochet into the first 3 stitches. And then after your 3 single crochets, we're going to do a decrease. And this is the pattern that we're going to repeat all the way around. 3 single crochets, and then a decrease. And again, the pattern should line up with the decrease over the last 2 stitches. And now you should have a total of 16 stitches. And we're going to do a slip stitch. And here is round 6. Round 7, we're going to chain 1. And we're going to do a single crochet into the first 2 stitches. And then a decrease. And we'll repeat this pattern, doing 2 single crochets and then a decrease. And you should have a total of 12 stitches in this round. And then slip stitch. And here is round 7. For round 8, we're going to chain 1, And we're going to do 1 single crochet and then a decrease. And we'll repeat that, 1 single crochet and then a decrease. And now we should have 8 stitches in this round, and we'll slip stitch. And here is round 8. And before we do our final round, we're going to make sure that we put in our fiber fill first. So grab your fiber fill, and you can use your fingers or the back of your hook to stuff your heart. And since we still have 1 more round left, we're going to overstuff it a little bit so we can just finish the round and then close up the bottom without needing to add any more. And once we're happy with how much stuffing we've added in, we can do round 9. In round 9, we're going to chain 1, and we're just going to do a decrease into every single stitch. And we should end the round with a total of 4 stitches left. And we can slip stitch, and it might be kind of difficult, but you can loosen the loop on your hook and then go over to the first stitch, yarn over, pull through the loop on our hook, and then tighten it. And there's our 9th and final round, and we can fasten off. And to fasten off, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to cut our yarn about this long, doesn't have to be too long. And then we'll pull through with our hook and tighten the knot. And the hole at the bottom is very small, so stuffing shouldn't be able to get through, but you can sew up the bottom if you're worried about it. And then we're going to hide our loose end inside the heart. We're going to use our hook and go into the heart, just anywhere. And then come out next to our loose end. And then we can take this, hook it onto our hook, and pull it through, and then it should be hidden. And then we're just going to go and shape our heart. So we'll push the stuffing around and sort of point the bottom of the heart. And here is our finished heart. And that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Also, a quick shout out to channel members Taylor, Eilish, Nadine, Joy, and Stacy. You can become a member of this channel and have these little yarn ball badges next to your name whenever you comment, and other perks like shout outs, early access to new videos, discount codes for my Etsy, help with any of my crochet patterns, and connecting on social media. Thank you again to all my channel members, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.